All right. Hey there. How you doing? Welcome to the Podcast Engineering Show. Can you hear my squeaky chair? There's some squeaks. Anyway, this show, we talk about the audio engineering aspects of podcast production. We go really deep into things. My name is Chris Curran. I run Podcast Engineering School, teaching people how to produce and engineer podcasts at a professional level. Every week on this show, we bring you podcast production techniques on a silver platter. And we alternate between interviews with podcast producers and engineers and Daily Goody episodes like this one, where I'm going to talk about 12 to 13 of the Daily Goody blog posts that I write every day. So I write these really short posts called Daily Goodies, and you can actually sign up to receive them. You can receive them every day. Well, it's every weekday, or a weekly roundup. It's up to you. Just go to podcastengineeringschool.com and sign up there. The next semester of PES starts soon. We do a semester every quarter. And if you missed the big announcement, well, you probably didn't. The previous episode was all about it. It was the Podcast Audio Olympics. It's happening July 15th to August 5th. Don't miss it. Go to podcastaudioolympics.com. You can sign up for notifications of the matches so you don't miss any of the matches. They're going to be all live streamed. It's going to be fun. All right, so we're going to start with our Daily Goody from April 24th, which is recording, editing, and mixing a foreign language episode. Basically, producing a foreign language episode. I don't know if you guys have ever had to do that. Recently, I recorded a short episode. It was a monologue, but it was with one of my clients who does an English-speaking episode or English-speaking podcast. But she wanted to have one of the messages, one of the featured essays on her show go out to the Spanish-speaking audience. So she actually asked somebody to record in Spanish. So I actually recorded them. And even though I speak a little Spanish, I don't understand every word and all that stuff. So what I did is I told the gentleman who was reading his essay to, if he did mess up, just to stop and actually say in English, okay, hold on, I'm gonna start from the previous sentence or something. And so anyway, because I told him in advance, look, if you do make any mistakes, we're going to have to be real clear of where you're going to start and everything. So anyway, it worked out, but it was kind of weird. I wouldn't want to do that every day or every week, but it worked out. Just got to be real careful in those cases. Okay, next Daily Goody, Descript. Descript, well, you probably heard of Descript. It's that, I think it's a web-based platform where you can edit your podcasts, and also they can take out all the ums automatically, and I also transcribe it. And you can also, instead of editing the audio file, you can actually edit the transcribed words. So you can delete a word of text, and it'll actually make that change in the audio. It'll delete that from the audio. Anyway, this Daily Goody was about being able to import and transcribe audio from Zoom and Loom. I know what Zoom is. I don't know what Loom is. But anyway, there's an integration with Descript from Zoom and Loom. There's a link to a short post about it. I still have not tried Descript yet. I hear pretty good things about it. But then I also hear that it's not perfect. And, you kind of have to go over what Descript does and make sure that it's good before you just put out an episode. Okay, next Daily Goody. Wait, is this the next one? Yeah. Recording. Oh, this is a video. Recording and producing a podcast episode live using 2 new plugins. So what I did is I actually streamed on Twitch, and I produced one of these episodes for this show, the Podcast Engineering Show, and I just streamed my whole production process on Twitch, and it was really fun, actually. So this post is, I embedded the video here, and it's pretty cool because, as the title says, I used 2 of my new plugins, and I sort of highlighted them, and it was kind of fun. It's pretty cool. I love live streaming, but anyway, if you want to see me produce one of these Daily Goody episodes, then you can go. It's from April 28th, and it's also on the YouTube channel for Podcast Engineering School. So if you're a YouTube person, You can search for Podcast Engineering School and then watch the video there. Okay, next daily goodie. Preparation that reduces post-production times. Preparation that reduces post-production times. Yeah, remember the Boy Scout motto? Be prepared? Yeah, so this is obvious, but if you prepare in advance for your recording sessions, they will go smoother, you'll be able to do them faster, you'll avoid mistakes, right? The whole thing. So anyway, I made a short list of things that can help you reduce your post-production times. Make sure your equipment is set up properly, your mic and your interface, etc. Make sure your computer has been restarted and it's working properly, right? You can do the show as if it's live in one uninterrupted session, which is what I do with my interviews on this show. I do the whole show as if it's live, but it's not live, and I just, then I mix it later. You can play your intro music and sound clips live from a tablet or from a Rodecaster Pro or something like that, which is, again, what I do. Use good mic technique. Well, that's always helpful. You can, teach yourself good mic technique, and then that'll pay you back dividends for the rest of your life. Keep your energy up. Research your guest a bit and list possible questions and talking points. That's kind of obvious. And also gather all relevant links and notes. Anyway, just general stuff you can do in advance to make sure that your episode recordings go faster and smoother. Next daily goodie. The Shure Beta 87A Super Cardioid Condenser Microphone. Yeah, the Beta 87A. This is a Shure microphone. It is a handheld mic, but it's a Super Cardioid condenser, believe it or not. Really nice clarity. It costs around $250. I know Corey Coates used to use one. He might still use it, but it's a pretty good mic. It's like a handheld mic, but it's a condenser, so it has that extra clarity, right, that dynamic microphones don't have. And also, Corey Coates used it on his appearance with me here on this show, which was episode 72. So if you want to go check out episode 72, you can hear Corey Coates on a Shure Beta 87A. All right, the next post. Oh, this was actually episode 180 of this show, which was Martins Popoulis, the co-founder of SonarWorks. This was a great episode. And SonarWorks is actually sponsoring the Podcast Audio Olympics. So thank you, SonarWorks, for sponsoring the Podcast Audio Olympics. Next daily goodie. Playing music and sound clips out of a tablet during recording. Wait a minute. Didn't we just discuss that? This was one of the tips for, to prepare your productions. Anyway, you get the idea. You can have an iPad or a Rodecaster Pro, and you can actually play your intro music and outro and sound clips. Like I play the Barry clips, right, on this show in my interview episodes. All right, let's move on. The Waves Content Creator Audio Toolkit. Okay, well, Waves, of course, makes audio plugins and a few other things, I believe. They came out with this Content Creator Audio Toolkit, which is, kind of for like podcasters and streamers, I guess. It includes 4 different plugins. The NS1 Automatic Noise Suppressor for removing distracting background noise. It also includes the Greg Wells Voice Centric, which is actually a plugin that has some EQ and compression and de-essing. It says into one smart control. I don't know. I haven't used this plugin. I don't know if it's a one knob plugin, but EQ, compression, and de-essing. Anyway, sounds cool. I haven't tried it. I haven't tried any of these, actually. The brand new Waves Playlist Rider, which I'm assuming is very similar to the Vocal Rider, which is a great Waves plugin. They also make one called a Bass Rider. And then the fourth plugin in this toolkit is the WLM Plus Loudness Meter. So it's a loudness meter, which helps you get to the right LUFS level if you do your loudness by eye. Anyway, it's a little 4-plugin little toolkit thingy. I haven't tried it, but it seems pretty cool. I think I did see online a few people had bought it. yeah. Anyway, next daily goodie, a pre-session questionnaire for podcast guests. Yeah, a pre-session questionnaire for podcast guests. And I designed this for some of my clients recently to help speed up sound check and avoid technical issues in advance. I now ask my clients' guests to fill out a short multiple choice questionnaire asking them about their setup in terms of, their microphone, their computer, their Wi-Fi strength, their headphones, all that stuff. And it's cool because it's just gathering some data. And so I'll usually receive their answers a few days in advance. And if I see any glaring issues, like if they don't have a mic and they don't even have headphones or something, then I'll pretty much email them and be like, so do you really not have anything? How do you normally join a show to be a guest? Because maybe they just do it by phone. I don't know. Anyway, having the guest give me this info in advance is really helpful. And for the biggest thing is to avoid major problems when they connect to do the show. Right? That's the thing. It's just avoiding huge problems. Like it's really bad when a guest tries to join a podcast and they don't have a mic, they don't have headphones, they don't know what to do, and it's just it literally takes you like 20 or 30 minutes to talk them through everything and set up everything and So anyway, that pre-questionnaire helps out that process. All right, next daily goodie, Phantom Blocker. Yeah, this is made by Triton Audio, the same company that makes the FET-Head. The FET-Head boosts a microphone's signal. But this one is called Phantom Blocker, which you put it, it's XLR connectors on both sides, and you put it, if you ever want to block the phantom power getting to a certain microphone, you can. And the reason this can be relevant in podcasting is because a lot of the smaller interfaces, like I think even I have it right here, the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2 3rd Gen. Yeah, see, it only has one button for phantom power, and then it will apply phantom power to both XLR inputs. So if, let's say you have a condenser microphone plugged into input 1, well, that's great, and you need phantom power, so you turn on the phantom power, and it supplies that input 1 with phantom power, and then you can hear your condenser mic. Wonderful. But let's say you're going to plug into input number 2, you're going to plug a dynamic microphone. That does not need phantom power. So you could use this phantom blocker to block the phantom power that's running through that input number 2. Because phantom power, I mean, I've heard it in the past that sometimes it can damage microphones. I never thought it was a big deal, but apparently it's possible. It might not happen, but it might, I don't know. It might happen. I don't know. I haven't really looked into it that deep, but anyway, I just thought this was a good daily goodie because, who knew that there was this little tiny thing that can just block phantom power if you need to block it. So pretty cool, phantom blocker. And I believe this is the last one we're going to cover today. Yes. Okay, sometimes using de-reverb only on low and low mid frequencies. So de-reverb, normally I use de-reverb on the entire frequency spectrum of a sound because, the sound of the reverb usually is present in the whole frequency spectrum. But I recently had a case where there was a lot of room reverb in the low and the low mid frequencies. Because rooms are different, people's voices are different, right? Some, whatever. So just to try it, just for almost for fun, I tried removing the reverb in the low and the low mids only, which means I left the high mids and the high frequencies alone. And it actually worked really well because it allowed the high mids and the high frequencies to maintain their clarity much better. Because inevitably, when you use a de-reverb, it does diminish the quality of the person's voice. Just because it's not perfect, that's it is going to deteriorate the voice a little bit. So in this case, I removed the low and the low mid reverb, but I didn't touch the high mids or the highs, and it worked out really well. So I thought, that was pretty cool. I wanted to pass that along. All right, well, that's it for this short episode, Daily Goody episode. Remember, you can sign up to receive these in your email, either daily or weekly. And I already recorded the next 2 interviews, and they're awesome. So next week will be an interview episode. And again, check out the Podcast Audio Olympics. And of course, if you're not a member of the Podcasters Lounge, it's a Facebook group we have, the Podcasters Lounge. We hang out. We do live streams every Wednesday night. Anyway, thanks for listening to the Podcast Engineering Show. As always, if you have questions about your production, just go to the website and there's a little contact us page and you just send me a note. So podcastengineeringschool.com. All right, we'll see y'all later. Thanks for listening. Take care.